31 overs of play have been done on day 5 of the Barsapara test match, and India have advanced to 63 for 3. They have scored 63 runs today, but have unfortunately lost 3 wickets, and the chances of a 2-0 whitewash have only increased. Sai Sudarshan has hung in, he's shown plenty of grit. Jadeja has hung in, but you've lost Kuldeep, Jurel, and Pant. And the loss of Rishabh Pant in particular will be very, very deflating for the Indian cricket team, because if you wanted some kind of salvaging act to be done, it was Rishabh Pant who was going to do it. But unfortunately, Simon Harmer, who's been the pick of the bowlers, has taken 4 wickets. And because of that, now South Africa with 2 sessions to go. With now from 11:20 to 1:20, you're going to have a 2-hour session. It's going to be a really, really big feat if India draw this. But on the other hand, the pitch is absolutely become a minefield. You're seeing so many deliveries from the rough explode. From a good length area also, it is exploding. The delivery that got rid of KL Rahul, the spin that was there. It will be an epic, epic task for the likes of Nitish Reddy, Washington Sundar, who are yet to come, to survive on this particular surface. So, a draw or a South Africa win. These are the only two probabilities that are there at this point in time. The third probability of an India win is not is impossible at this point in time. So a draw or a South Africa win, these are the only two probabilities that is there at this point in time. A draw is a good result, because at this point in time, 4 points is better than no points. So, in a way, when you sum up this session, it again highlights what is wrong with India. They just don't have the stomach to hang in. The last time, when you look at it, if you want to have any kind of motivation, you can have Shuki Conrad's comments, what he said. And there is a storm being created over Shuki Conrad's comment. I mean, he wanted to make the Indian cricket team grovel. Now, let's understand the context of what is going on and why there is so much of criticism over the grovel comment. Because it happened in 1976. You would have seen the video, but I'll again reiterate what is happening at this point. Tony Craig, who represented apartheid South Africa but was playing for England, called the West Indies that I want to make them grovel. And it conveniently happened. I mean, West Indies hammered England 3-0, and they made Tony Craig grovel. But now, a black South African asking the Indians to grovel. Now, it is a big, big situation that is there. So, does it really amount to racism? Actually, no. It doesn't amount to racism as such. But humiliation, yes. Was it necessary? Maybe, maybe not at this point in time. So, it is going to be a big, big situation that we are seeing at this point in time. But even then, despite those comments, the Indian cricket team still doesn't have a fight. Look at it. How on earth can you explain the way how the players were dismissed? Yes, Kuldeep Yadav showed some grit, he hung in there. But then, unfortunately, at this point in time, he's not a regular batter. So how on earth can you ensure that he negotiates this tough period when your top order failed in particular? The way Dhruv Jurel fell. Now, Simon Harmer's gotten his number. I mean, he has managed 22 balls, scored only 3 runs, and he's taken him 3 wickets. 3 wickets, 3 runs, 22 balls. That is the way how Simon Harmer has owned Dhruv Jurel. And that is why, looking at the way how Dhruv Jurel has played in this test match, again, questions will rise over his ability, whether he can play top-notch bowling at this point. Now, even Rishabh Pant, he tried for the jugular, but then he fell to a catch. It was a well set up delivery by Simon Harmer. And that is why he got 4 wickets and ensured that India now are firmly on the back foot. So, Sai Sudarshan and Ravindra Jadeja. Now, if you want to survive on this particular kind of a wicket, this is the way how you have to go about. You have to grind the South Africans out and ensure that, okay, you play more than 100 overs. Because remember, by 4 o'clock, it's done. You can't have play any further. So even if you're 9 down, you know that you won't get that extra half an hour. Just ensure that, okay, you bat out very well. But unfortunately, it is not a good situation that is there, because surviving for 2 sessions with just 5 wickets down, with Nitish Reddy also not been in good form, a Washington Sundar you can hope for, that he will hang in there. but it is probably asking too much. And remember, if South Africa win this particular match, for the first time in history, South Africa would have whitewashed India twice in their home. No nation has ever whitewashed India twice at home. So South Africa had whitewashed India 2-0 into a 2000. Now they are on the cusp of doing something remarkable, a 2-0 whitewash yet again after 25 years. So if it's a draw, then South Africa have won the series. They would have won the series for the second time in India, joining Australia, England, and the West Indies as the only other nations to have won multiple series at home against India in their own backyard. So this is the way we are looking at it at this point in time. So yes, the application that Sai Sudarshan and Ravindra Jadeja have shown, there is a chance of a draw. There is a chance of a draw at this point in time, but it's a very, very uphill task. Forget the third result. India winning, out of the question. It's just not happening at this point. A draw can happen, but the chances of a South Africa win are far more at this point. So if you want to if I want to give you the odds, 90% it is South Africa win, 10% a South Africa draw. But today, when you look at the South Africa bowling and fielding at the start, you'd wonder which South Africa turned out, because there was a no ball that Marco Jansen bowled and Sai Sudarshan edged it. But unfortunately, it was a no ball. Then Markram dropped a couple of catches. So you're wondering, what on earth are South Africa doing? Do they not want to win the Barsapara test match? But unfortunately, when those couple of chances missed and a no ball, it has ensured that yes, India have still lost 3 wickets. If they had taken the chances, maybe I would have been discussing the tea session with you, with South Africa maybe 2 or 3 wickets away from a win. So that is why this is a big, big problem that the Indian cricket team are facing. But even though if you draw this match, serious questions have to be asked over the Indian test team. What's going to happen with them? Because this will be the second straight year in which you've lost to a major Sena nation at home. In fact, New Zealand did the unthinkable and managed to win 3-0. Here, if South Africa beat you 2-0, then it's going to be very, very difficult. I know that people are praying for a draw, but a draw at this point, you get 4 points. Yes, it keeps you in contention for the WTC, but then it's not worth shadowing the criticism then, because you have to criticize the Indian cricket team and the way how they've gone about in this particular match. Pitches and everything, you can go on about Gambhir destroying Indian cricket, but what are the players doing? What are the players doing at this point in time when you've got the backing of several people? They are not applying themselves. So it is very easy that Gambhir is the target. He chose to be the target. But again, do you want to criticize him for the sake of it? Just to ensure that superstar culture that is prevalent there continues at this point in time, you have to take certain tough decisions. And that is why it is going to be very, very interesting as to how this goes on. So South Africa dropped chances, a no ball was bowled, but despite that, 3 wickets have been taken. And it's going to be an uphill task. The pitch already, there is so much of turn at this point. Will Sundar, will Nitish Reddy survive? That is what we are looking at this point in time. And remember, Kuldeep got a promotion. That is why Nitish and Washington are batting lower down the order at this point in time. So it is a very, very important session that is coming up. If India can hang in there, then the chances of a draw increase. But as I said, 90% South Africa win, 10% draw. India winning, 0%. 0%. I am calling it right now. 0% India are not winning the match. They can only hope to draw the match. So everybody is saying 2-0 for sure. I agree. It is 2-0 for sure at this point in time. And I'll just take some comments which have just been flooding the stream at this point, and I'll look at it. Oh, lots of them. Yeah, draw loading. That's what Shorank is saying. Yeah, draw is loading at this point in time. Well, if you hang in there and you don't lose one or more wickets in the second session, then a draw is possible. And okay, now in this, still match could be draw because we only lose one regular batsman, Kuldeep Yadav. But still, scoreboard pressure, Manendra Prasad, 5 wickets are down. That is the problem. 5 wickets are down. And 2 sessions to go. Even if you take 2 or 3 wickets in each session, it still doesn't matter. I give Solanki Bhargav, I give 50-50 to draw and loss for India. 50-50 for a draw. Okay, great. Saurav Kumar. Siddhar bhai, 1 month ago I met Gambhir at an event and he was all praises. I just told him I'm a very good all-rounder. Oh, brilliant. Then why don't you audition for the Indian cricket team? I hope to see you, Saurav Kumar, in the Indian cricket team soon. And if you can contribute, great. Just thinking, Rafael Gautam, just thinking about the innings by Amla and De Villiers to save the test and how SA were fallen for spin web entire say and now how the time changes. But still, Gautam, Amla and De Villiers didn't save the test match. You lost the Delhi test. Yes, breaking news for you, my friend. 143 overs, 141 runs were scored in the Delhi test match. Sir, be unfiltered in the evening show. Another series loss is loading. Yes, it is. Manu John, Temba is becoming test king. Absolutely. What a record by Temba Babuma. I'm really, he is a giant of the game in more ways than one. And Sai Viren Vedic Maths is saying, imagine Virendra Sehwag playing. Will he allow bowlers like Simon Harmer to bowl 4 overs continuously? No, he won't. But see, Sehwag was Sehwag for a reason. Freaking awesome. The last time India batted more than 100 overs in the fourth innings at home was way back in 1979. It was against Pakistan at Delhi. Not easy at all considering current team composition. No, it's not easy at all. And Delhi in 1979, see, the problem in the 70s was that if you won a particular match, the rest of the games would be target draws because you prepare such flat wickets, no bowler would ever get tangled. Sudarshan from a cat on a hot tin roof to a cat with 9 lives could be Saurav Kumar. It could be. So this is a big thing at this point. Botumon is saying when you are trying to draw a match, your captain only played 16 balls. Even Kuldeep Yadav played 38 balls. Again, Pant, the way how he got out, you may have to raise some objections about that. But what to do? I mean, see, every batter has gotten. The calling dwarf was not a problem. EB16, I know that you've been going on and on and on. But see, EB16, let me tell you one major thing. Calling someone a dwarf, Bona, is a problem. Because you have mocked their condition. Understand? You just read up the definition of grovel in the dictionary. Just read about it. Context is important. Bona is a problem because you have mocked a particular condition. I hope EB16 you understand that way because I, for one, found it problematic, but it is. And EB16, my dress code is quite good. I don't know what is your dress code at this point in time. It is cold in Delhi NCR, and this is the dress code. And none of the people here have a problem. If you have a problem, then you're not my boss or you're not my anybody. I don't have to answer to you at this particular point in time. So on off SF win, SA win, you mean? Yeah, indeed, you can happen. Pant is playing T20 in Test and Test in T20. Great. But bottom one, that's how Pant plays. If it succeeds, you all hail it. But if you don't, the criticism is there. He knows the tightrope that he is walking on. Cristiano Ronaldo. Thanks, Ronaldo, for joining us. Improvement in Test cricket. 3-0 last year, 2-0 this year. Well, you're only playing 2 tests against South Africa, my friend. And you created a storm. He destroyed your fortress. Shukri is colored, not a white. AB16, who's saying that? Who is saying that? But the term grovel, okay, I understand your sensibilities. And yes, if a white man had said it, definitely it would be a problem. That's where I said, I explained the context also. Grovel, when you use it, it is a desperation. You're kneeling and begging for forgiveness. It kind of indicates an inferiority complex also. But at the same time, calling out that inferiority complex, is it a problem? I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. So at this point, so that is the thing. And I hope I have answered that particular question, my friend. Can India draw if Jadeja and Sai play the entire session? Yes, they can. Kuldeep is better than so-called top order. No, come on. Just one particular match. Are you serious? Yeah. So calling, I mentioned all this, EB16, whatever you want to look at it. Last 30 minutes of first session, the pitch looks flattening out. Draw is a very much probability. Saurav Kumar yet again. We don't know how this, but the pitch is very difficult. And you're talking about last 30 minutes. What happened to the 4.5 days that happened prior to that? Even on a flat deck, India just couldn't bat out. Simple. I am seriously saying I would give up 2024 T20 World Cup and 2020 CT for, okay, 1 second. this particular thing is. Okay, Siddharth is like saying, I am seriously saying I could give up the 2024 T20 World Cup and 20 CT for reversing the series with NZ and SA. These are black time for ICT. Well, you hailed a Champions Trophy victory. You hailed a T20 World Cup victory. You hailed the T20 World Cup victory because it was a miracle that happened. You hailed the 2025 CT despite the schedule being skewed in your favor and the conditions were entirely in your favor. But remember, the same situation would have happened if you had played even in Pakistan. You're only playing in one venue. But yes, playing in Pakistan would have been a different kettle of fish altogether. Just don't get me started on that. Can India draw Jadeja? I already mentioned that. Why this? Okay, let pitch be anyway. India cannot fail like this. Manu John saying, yeah, India cannot fail. Nobody is questioning Indian bowlers, spinners, bowlers. One second. Harmer is seriously good spinner. Can't believe he just played 14 tests. Yeah, but that was a problem in South Africa, my friend, because he had to go Kolpak. So that's the way. And there is one more comment which is like saying nobody is questioning Indian spinners, bowlers, lack of skill set seen in Sundar and Harmer, Siraj versus Jansen. Yeah, it was, it was. Christian, the pitch is very good. 10 on 10, everyone is in this game. Yeah, they are still there. To be honest, waiting for GG resignation in PC. That's not happening. That's really not happening because a resignation in the middle of the WTC, this is the halfway point in the WTC. How on earth can you expect the resignation? How? If it happens, you're throwing Indian cricket in total turmoil. Agree? The next test is 10 months away. A new coach in the middle of a WTC cycle? Honestly? Okay, now you've got only 2 away series and 1 home series. You've got 2 tests versus Sri Lanka, which is away. It will be 2 tests versus New Zealand away. And then you've got 5 matches against Australia at home. Will Mone Mokal be happy or sad if India loses? He currently works for India, my friend Saurav Kumar. And Mokal will be gutted because his job is also on the line then. If Gambhir resigns, his job is also on the line. So that is the way when you look at it. If your current company loses, I don't think you'll cheer for the opposing company then. So yes, it's a huge, huge issue that you're looking at this point. And I don't think Gambhir might resign. If he resigns, it's a huge bombshell because you're quitting in the middle of the WTC. Not happening, my friend. Really not happening at this point. Knowing Gigi, he will resign himself coming days if not in white balls. Gautam, he's done well in white ball. He's done well in T20Is. Why on earth do you want him to resign even from white ball cricket for a red ball loss? I don't understand. Sports Today official, at home it's Aussies. Lion will be licking his fingers. Although I don't know if the pitch conditions will change in 2027. Remember, they are playing in February, March of 2027. It's not going to be easy. Really, it won't be easy. Srinivas, I see pathetic bowling after Mone Mokal entered as bowling coach, no bowling variations. That's a problem that we have had. If we do not win the T20 World Cup, GG might be shown the door. Again, tough. Just with 1.5 years to go for the World Cup, you want to change a coach. You want to change a captain. You change the captain in the middle. Now, if you do it, it'll be very, very chaotic. Gautam Gambhir should show guts like IPL 20, no performance, simple resignation. Well, that was the IPL and it was a different era, my friend. It won't happen at this point in time. So, this is the lowest of low for Indian Test cricket. Coach must be sacked from red ball. Priyanshu, but then how on earth can you blame the coach for batters' lack of application and bowlers' lack of skill? Yes, what is going on behind the scenes, I don't know. I really don't know at this point in time. So it is the lowest of the low. But then, yeah, no coach emerges unscathed if you lose 2 whitewashes in 2 consecutive years at home. No coach, I think, does. I think if he's whitewashed 2-0 here, then I think a tough call will be taken. But it won't happen now. I think it might happen sometime afterwards, maybe after the T20 World Cup, or maybe before you're preparing for the Test series against Sri Lanka. But if it happens now, it's a big jolt. But anyway, mid WTC or mid season, changes in captaincy, changes in leadership, we have seen that before. So yeah, it can happen. It can happen. So Dhruv Jurel, 2 ducks, still no one is questioning, only GG is to be blamed. I know. What does GG have to do with batters' application? Batters can only apply themselves and do it now. But then when you're tampered with the pitches so much, this is bound to happen. Before GG, everyone used to execute plans. Lashnik 86836. Really? When? When? You just survived the BGT by the barest of margins in India. Just because you came on the right side of the results in 2 out of the 3 games doesn't mean that you're executing your plans well. It doesn't mean that. You've had a pitch situation that has been at the heart of India's problems for the last 4 years. So that is the way. Why don't you appreciate SA players? I do appreciate SA players, EB16. It's just that you don't want to listen to it. What questions are directed at me? I've been saying Simon Harmer is one of the best bowlers that South Africa has had in this current series. Marco Jansen, what a brilliant, brilliant match he's had so far. 6 wickets and 93. He can get some more. So that is the thing. I really was expecting 1-1. Nope. Not happening now, my friend. It'll be 1-0 or it'll be 2-0. That is the only way possible. So, yes, we are now into the second session that we are there. Let's see. All right, I have a freaking awesome saying. Yes, it's sir. SA lost that test, although it played 143 overs. But it was Herculean. But no team has batted this many overs in India in the fourth innings. Even India had batted 136 overs in 1948. But that's how it goes, my friend. But Gigi changed the batting order that really affected the players. Kishore, how? How does it affect the players? I mean, you get in a Sundar because Gill got injured. And when you look at it, you dumped him after 1 game. Yes, I understand this experimentation isn't working. But then, was it the need to experiment? That only Gambhir can answer. And that is the way I look at it. And when Kohli captained, they ignored home test wins. And okay, that's what Pawan Holla is saying. Question for away series loss. That fine, but now that India is losing at home, will you question Gigi and the captain the same way? Yes, we will have to. I mean, the criticism won't be lessened. That is the way when you look at it. So, look, criticism will be there, but it has to be directed at the right people. Just criticizing for the heck of it doesn't make sense at this point in time. So yes, it is going to be a big situation. Let's see how much India can hang in for the second session. Let's see how that goes on. So yep, 5 wickets, or will South Africa be thwarted by Sudharsan and Jadeja? Let's see how that happens. So we'll be back for the second session. Either it's the lunch break or it is the match end. That it all depends. So bye bye. See you soon.